Hey guys, what's up? Chef Easy in the mic, and today we're gonna be making beef bolognese with a pappardelle pasta. I'm using heirloom tomatoes and some canned tomatoes because that's the secret to make a good one. Check it out. So first, when you're making the bolognese, you gotta start with your vegetables. What I'm using is carrots, celery, onion, heirloom tomatoes that were picked out of my tia's garden, so they're very, very special, very sweet, nice and tomatoey. You wanna do a nice consistent dice on your celery, on your carrots, and on your onions. You don't want one or the other to be inconsistent. You want them to be consistently thick. I have worked in a lot of places where we make the bolognese and we're very specific on how big it has to be. But the truth of the matter is, it matters, but it doesn't. Especially for your house. You know, you want your vegetables to be cut evenly, just so it cooks thoroughly throughout the cooking process. You also want it to be consistent because you want it to feel almost like meat. You know, we're gonna throw ground beef in there, we're gonna break it, we're gonna make sure it separates evenly. And having consistent vegetables add a nice crunch element and almost like a protein feel to it. So first we're gonna start with extra virgin olive oil. That's key for making a good bolognese. Add that in the pan. Secondly, you wanna add your mirepoix, which pretty much your mirepoix consists of celery, onion, and carrots. Cook those a few seconds. You don't need to like really brown them or anything like that. You don't wanna overcook your vegetables. Add the beef second and season heavy. Season really heavy on the beef. Reason is you want the beef to develop flavor. You want it to be nice and seasoned throughout the dish, right? Remember guys, everything, I repeat this in every video, layers. So once that's happening, add your beef, stir it, make sure you're break it with your wooden spoon or a spatula. Make sure the beef gets chopped up evenly. And I'm using 80-20, which means 80% lean, 20% fat. You don't want your bolognese to be oily. I hate when a bolognese is oily, but you don't want it to be also dry and just, you know, like dry beef. So 20% fat is good. On my recipe, I don't add butter. I don't like butter in my tomato sauce, but I do add a little bit of heavy cream just to make it a little more like nice and smooth consistency throughout the pasta. What I'm seasoning with is salt, pinch of sugar, freshly grated nutmeg, and fresh ground black pepper. The fresh ground black pepper adds a nice spicy element. The nutmeg adds like a savory flavor to it. The sugar will balance out the tomatoes. I'm using canned tomatoes and I'm using fresh tomatoes. They're out of my tia's garden, like I said, so they're nice and fresh, but they still have a natural tartness. That sugar balances it off very, very nice. So I'm just doing a light pinch of sugar. And you know, if you don't want to do sugar, it's fine, you don't have to. That's just my personal preference. Let that cook down, guys. I add a little bit of water as well. You can do chicken stock, you can do vegetable stock. A little water goes a long way. And the water pretty much I saved it from when I cooked my pasta. I just saved a little bit of salty water. The pasta's cooked al dente, which is perfect to the bite. Once your bolognese is cooking and it's steaming and you see like you get all those smells, you can kind of smell the nutmeg, you smell the pepperiness. Taste it, man, like consistently taste it. Every stage of the cooking process, the bolognese is evolving. When you're working in restaurants and you make bolognese, it takes a couple of hours to cook down. But since we're making such a small batch, it doesn't take that long. I don't personally like seasoning my bolognese with just salt. I also like adding Pecorino, which is a specific cheese that I'm using today. Pecorino Romano. Nice and salty. It has a natural, like almost like that Parmesan smell, kind of like, you know, it's funky, but that adds a good salty element, and that's what will make your bolognese very unique to anyone out there. So at the end, when I'm adding my cream, I also add a little bit of cheese to thicken up the sauce naturally. And then the pecorino will also add its specific flavor to it. As you can see, the pasta's here. It's nice and hot already. So that now that has cooked down, I have added the bolognese. And the bolognese, all it is just a really thick noodle. You know, so we're gonna plate this bad boy. And to garnish it, you wanna have a little fresh parsley, nice quality pecorino. And basically the parsley is also from my garden, so it tastes really good, really fresh. I have a couple of leaves here that we're gonna chop off on top. And for this, I'm a big boy, man. I eat a lot. You know, this weekend's been a little crazy for me. We went out, we had a couple of beers, I'm not gonna lie. So I need a big portion for myself. So you wanna spin it around. Right in the center, guys. And get a lot of that meat in there as well. Make sure your plate is nice and big. Grab a little bit of that fresh parsley. If you don't have fresh parsley in your garden, that's perfectly fine. Just try to buy the freshest ones you can find in the grocery store. And the parsley it's not just garnish, it's gonna add a nice element to it. And a lot of recipes that I've seen online, a lot of restaurants that I have worked in, we do add parsley in the beginning of the cooking process. I've never really understood that, especially because parsley would just dilute and lose all its flavor throughout the cooking process. And it's like you never added anything. It's just kind of a waste of ingredient. So I like doing it at the end. And plus it makes your dish look pretty. You're cooking this for your lady, for your man, for your side chick, for your side man. Makes you look like a pro, man. You know, they're like, damn, really went all out for me. And I go heavy on my pecorino. That's pretty much it, guys. Enjoy.